Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So let's check out Greenland will never leave Denmark. Here is why. Okay, so let's check this out.
64% of Greenlanders want independence from Denmark, and despite them being able to legally leave since 2009, it's still a part of Denmark. So why is this? Why is it a part of Denmark in the first place, and is that all about to change? Back in 985, Norse settled in Greenland for its ivory. That was until about 1450 when all the Norse died or came back home. Fast forward to 1721, Norway is now under the control of Denmark, and a Christian missionary has just convinced the Danish king to send him out to Greenland to re-establish a colony, leading to a trickle of Danish missionaries. Jumping ahead 100 years, and things get a little shaky. You see, after Sweden occupied Denmark in 1814, Denmark had to give up mainland Norway, leading to a forced union with Sweden and Norway. This now meant Sweden, Norway, and Denmark claimed Greenland, right? Well, notice how I said that Denmark was forced to give up mainland Norway. Denmark had to give up mainland Norway. This small detail meant that Denmark could take all the islands Norway claimed, including Greenland. This made Norway pretty upset, as it felt Greenland should have been theirs since their people settled the island first. So, using the justification that Denmark still hadn't established a solid presence on the island, Norway sent 5 men to plant its flag on eastern Greenland. This scared the crap out of Denmark, and so it brought Norway to court and won, meaning Greenland
Wow.
was decisively Denmark's. Well, that was until World War II. After Germany occupied Denmark, Greenland was forced into being independent until the end of the war. This independence helped inspire a movement for more autonomy and permanent independence. Fast forward to 2009, Greenland has so much autonomy that it almost functions as its own separate country, and Denmark has just passed a law that lets Greenland declare its independence as long as a majority of its citizens vote in favor of it. It also just happens that a 2016 poll found that almost 2/3 of Greenland's population was in favor of independence. This obviously begs the question, if Greenland is allowed to become independent and it wants independence, why hasn't it become independent already? The answer is Denmark, but it might not be for the reason you think. You see, Denmark gives subsidies that make up 2/3 of Greenland's government budget and 25% of its entire GDP. Gaining independence and leaving Denmark would likely mean the loss of these subsidies and a steep decline in living standards, which is why 78% of Greenlanders oppose independence if that were the case. This is why Greenland has been working on diversifying and growing its economy so that it slowly becomes less reliant on these subsidies and finally gains its full independence. This money isn't bad though, because it's given to help with things like infrastructure and public services. The problem is, when you take into account Greenland's sparse population and harsh climate, it quickly becomes a lot of money, meaning Denmark is losing tons of money on Greenland just on operating costs. Then take into account
Losing tons of money just on operating costs. Wow.
that Greenland wants independence and that Denmark seemingly supports it too, and this begs another question. Why hasn't Denmark let go of Greenland? This is when the research breaks down into speculation, so take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. Denmark doesn't mind the subsidies since it barely makes a dent into its comparatively massive economy. Denmark also feels a responsibility to take care of Greenland because of their colonial past and close friendship. This next theory, however, is much more cynical. Denmark is purposefully keeping Greenland reliant on subsidies so that it stays under its control. You see, Denmark prevents most other countries from investing in Greenland. This means not only will Denmark be the only country with major influence over Greenland, but it can also make sure Greenland gets just enough money to keep its country functioning, but not enough money so that it grows its other industries, gets rich, becomes less dependent on Denmark, and ultimately becomes independent. Okay, but surely other countries would condemn Denmark for this. Well, actually no. It's quite the opposite. To them, it looks like a rich country sharing its wealth with one that's less fortunate. Plus, with all the autonomy Greenland's been given, it just looks like Denmark doesn't even control it. That is, until you remember that 2/3 of Greenland's government budget alone comes from Denmark. So what even is the point of all of this? What's so important that Denmark is willing to go out of its way to control Greenland? Well, as ice continues to melt, not only will Greenland's natural resources be uncovered, but new shipping lanes will open up too. This means Greenland will become insanely valuable to control, and so if Denmark still controls Greenland, it will wield immense negotiation power on the world stage. Or in other words, Greenland gives Denmark power. Remember that all of this is just speculation, so if you have any ideas or insights, please let me know in the comments.
So is Greenland controlling Denmark or Denmark controlling Greenland? So please let me know more. According to all he has made mention of, I really love to know the genuine answers to all these things. So please let me know more about it on the comment section, right? I await your comments. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about all he has made mention of? Are they genuinely correct? Share your thoughts, guys, on the comment section. Thank you, and see you guys in my next one.